Of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup American Qualifiers. Well, of window 3 here in the first round, this indeed is the final game in which Venezuela, with only one victory, must defeat Colombia by 3 points or more to ensure that they go to the next round. Well, Brazil topping this Group C with a final victory against Chile. Chile making history, though, going to the second round after their big win, the opening game for them in this third and final window of round 1. Well, there are your standings. If Colombia can hold on for a win today or lose by 1 point, they will indeed go to the next round and have the crucial head-to-head against Venezuela. We just saw Juan Teo coming out. One of the key cornerstones in there is Romario Roque. It's quite a big team. It was Brian Angola has been the cornerstone of this team along with Jaime Echenique. So Colombia, because their record isn't great against Venezuela, in history, with only 3 wins going back to the early 90s. But now is their time. They've got the personnel. They've gone to many FIBA Basketball Americups, They've only ever featured in one FIBA Basketball World Cup, and that was when they hosted back in 1982. Well, they shared a group of Venezuela for the 2022 FIBA Americup, in which that final victory against Chile saw them go through with both Argentina and Venezuela. For Venezuela, it's now a rebuilt team. Because Churio, the only familiar player that actually played in the last 2 World Cups here for Venezuela. I mean, this is a team without Hazel Guigent. Because we did see Windy Gratero, who did feature for them at the 2019 Basketball World Cup. But like I say, it's a new team indeed. It's a rebuild era. A lot of these Venezuelan players are either playing pro in Venezuela domestically, or in the case of Jefferson, because he is actually playing for Santa Fe in Argentina, which many of them have actually gone down their careers. Well, it's the best part of the afternoon is now we're going to stand, pay respect and homage to the 2 national anthems of both Venezuela and Colombia. So we kindly ask, if you're able to do so, to join us during this magnificent moment.
A continuación, himno Venezuela.
The national anthems of both Colombia and Venezuela have indeed been sung, and now we'll introduce 4 very important people for tonight's game. And those are 3 referees and 1 commissioner and technical delegate. Well, we're very proud to say here at FIBA we have 3 of the very finest this evening. because many of our referees you have seen in multiple FIBA Basketball World Cups and even the America Cup. And I could also go as far to say a lot of our referees do go on to the Basketball Olympics. Well, our referees there, you can see all three gentlemen standing courtside at the moment. From Uruguay, we have Andrés Bartel. From Puerto Rico, we have Alexis Mercado and Danilo Molina from Argentina. So a big thank you, a big muchos gracias to all of our referees who, like I say tonight, they'll do another great job. As now we'll take a look at the starting lineups of Colombia. Well, Colombia know they only have to lose by 1 point to still go through. So Juan Teo, along with Brian Angola, Jaime Echenique, Hansel Atencia, who's played a lot of his pro basketball in Spain, as well as Michael Jackson, will be in the starting five tonight for Colombia. Oh, here goes Tomás Díaz, knowing full well that he's got a very experienced, very well-talented superstar team, but even though it's the rebuild era for Venezuela, El Vino Tinto, as they like to say, Edwin Mijares, Yepsen Guerra, Elan Tentano, and Johanna Cifuentes has been one of their leading scorers along with Jose Mataran. Well, Churio, as I mentioned, is probably the most experienced player in this team, having gone to Basketball World Cups already. Well, the man from Spain now taking over, knowing that the foundations, having already worked with some key professional clubs, Francisco Segura, within Spanish basketball, this is an absolutely magnificent opportunity for him. Well, there's Churio. Some would say it's his team now. He is the unsung hero of the leaders, Romario Roque. It's been a key addition for this Colombian national team over the seasons. Well, I would say in this game, Venezuela is now having to play here on the road, knowing that they have to win, but not only do they have to win by 3. Only 1 win for them so far here in the qualifiers.
Hey, muchacho, importante que en toda jugada de ellos siempre tengamos gente en la pintura. Puede para la caída o puede hacer para un box out, lo que quieran. Pero necesitamos que si ellos están jugando en una parte de la cancha, nosotros podamos tener cubierta la pintura. Primera jugada, lado. Primero que va a recibir va a ser Michael. Y el segundo que recibe va a ser Angola.
Vienes a este lado, Elian es el que viene para este pin down, ¿de acuerdo? Materán, si se queda enganchado la lanzamos, si no, recordar, vamos mano a mano y seguimos, ¿eh? Y Elian a la vuelta, boom, para Mate.
Y tú puedes atacar aquí que sea el pase hacia atrás, ¿eh?
¿De acuerdo? Recordar, en defensa, Show, Mate, Elian, Show, Mate, Elian, Tanco y Guerra, ¿de acuerdo?
Activo,
brazos activos, todos en el
activo
rebote,
y abajo.
colapsamos y solo el balón falla. Bueno, la próxima, ¿listo? Todos juntos. Colombia!
Well, it's been 44 long years since Colombia have gone to a Basketball World Cup. And as I already mentioned, it's when they hosted back in 1982, and many of these players, I don't even think they were born back then. Juan Teo, the senior statesman, but well, big shout out to our official sponsor, Tissot. The official Tissot countdown to tip-off is now underway. And a big thank you to Tissot for a magnificent partnership and collaboration with FIBA International Basketball for many decades. And may it forever continue. Well, Venezuela, they've been to 5 Basketball World Cups. 1990, of course, 1994. Indianapolis in 2002, Japan in 2006, only missing out in 2010 in Turkey and 2014 in Spain, but thus going on in 2019 in China, and most recently, well, they were in the Okinawa Arena in Japan for the group stage. Juan Teo, arguably one of the greatest centers, if not the #1 center in the history of Colombian basketball. What a big part of his legacy. Could he help this national team? But they could be eliminated tonight. They just need to make sure they don't lose by more than 2 points, because that is what they won by the last time these two teams met. Colombia 2 wins, Venezuela only 1. Venezuela must win tonight to have any form of chance of getting to windows 4, 5, and 6 for the second round. And again, we'd like to welcome everybody. We are live here in beautiful Colombia at Coliseo Evangelista Mora. This is the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. It's Colombia Now I believe we're just going to have a moment's silence here for the victims due to the unfortunate earthquake that did happen in Venezuela, so we just kindly ask you to join us on this one.
Familias, con el pueblo venezolano y con todas las personas afectadas por esta tragedia.
Our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers go to the people of Venezuela in what is only an unimaginable, horrific time, of course, due to the earthquake. But now their national team will get to raise their flag and play for one final chance to get to the second round of the Basketball World Cups. Vamos Venezuela, of course, in the hearts and thoughts of everybody watching live. We just have a technical delay at the moment. I'm not sure if it's an issue with the starting five because I didn't think we saw Chudio on the starting five for Venezuela, but just assuming, my guesstimation, that's what the issue's about at the moment. Well, Vargas. Jose Vargas, former player of Venezuela, now on the assistant coaching staff. Because he's played in Basketball World Cups for Venezuela. Well, here we go. Now we're ready. Welcome, everybody, live here in Colombia. Basketball World Cup qualifiers. It's going to be turnover on the jump ball, so I think Colombia is going to get this one back. Well, Venezuela knows Michael Jackson will inbound this one. They've got to take care of the tempo. They've also got to take care of the basketball. Hansel Atentia, the primary point guard tonight for Colombia. Jackson trying to find Brian Angola. Just a big lineup with both Jaime and Chinique and Juan Teo at the power forward. Chinique trying to go in the paint. Little turnaround jump hook, and that one just finds its way in the bottom of the net. Well, they call him the Colombian Tim Duncan. He's played in the Basketball Champions League for a variety of top teams. One of them being Ritas Vilnius, as well as Prometheus Patras. So quite an extensive international career. Venezuela. Tinto going for a quick early three. That's up. And that finds its way in. Wow. Tough shot by Edwin Mijares. And he's trying to run down the clock and bring back the Hazle Gigentes. Venezuela nearly forced a turnover. The foul is going to be called in the paint. That's going to be a problem tonight here for Venezuela. The experience of Jaime and Chinique. That time the foul is going to be called on Elian Centeno, excuse me. So, Atentia left wide open, finds the three, and gives Colombia their first three-pointer of the game. Well, he's been monumental for this national team because they failed to qualify in the last Basketball World Cup. In the previous two qualifiers for the America Cup, he's been the go-to guy. Venezuela are unable to fire home. Now here comes Brian Angola. Well, no foul call. Venezuela forced a turnover. Can they take advantage? Well, it's good transition defense. But oh, no, it's going to be a foul on Juan Teo. Oh, Michael Jackson, excuse me. So free throws coming up here for Venezuela. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, yeah, good call. Definitely a reach. You'd expect a team like Colombia, with their experience with what they have, you'd expect them to try and make the every effort to get back on defenses. Guerra currently at the free throw line. Unable to hit the first one. Well, you got to make your free throws. Jefferson Guerra currently playing professionally in Argentina for Santa Fe as he makes a second one. Currently a 1-point lead here to Colombia. Venezuela going to a 2-3 zone. Well, they make them pay with another three-pointer. And Hansel Atentia, back-to-back triples, same spot, same results. And makes Venezuela pay. It's a tough ride in this 3 windows so far here by Venezuela. It's a bit of a circus shot. That's not going to go. And unfortunately, Colombia don't take care of the rebounds. I would say probably one of the most exciting spells of Colombian basketball was in the build-up to the 2022 FIBA America Cup, because they played some tough opponents. Brazil, Argentina just came back with some, well, some of them were in the World Cup qualifiers because we were just coming out of the global pandemic, but they made some hell of it. Here we go. Alley-oop time and buenas noches. A little bit of air showtime as Centeno caught that one midair. Venezuela trying to hang in there early on. Remember, they must win by 3 to win the head-to-head against Colombia. And Chedique trying to go for a back down. Well, this time unsuccessful. Good defense by Centeno. And now here comes Mijares. Venezuela want to play as quick as possible. Oh, we'll go for another step back. The 3 is up. Got to battle for offensive rebounds. Angola. You know a lot of points are going to come from him this evening. Well, the run and gun basketball I don't think is going to suit Colombia tonight. I mean, I still think they have to take advantage of the size they have with both Echenique and Juanteo. Mijares getting a handoff. Now mid-range and levels things up. Well, he's looking like a baby Heza Gigent out there. He's arguably the greatest point guard, the greatest PG in the history of Venezuela. Venezuela, they've gone back into a man-to-man matchup. A foul is going to be called on the ground against Venezuela. And that's on Guetta. Well, they don't want to get into foul trouble too early. Venezuela can win this, and they can definitely win it by 3 points or more. And that would see them go to the second round. But they have to play with discipline. 5 FIBA Basketball World Cups for Venezuela. Only 1 for Colombia. They try a 3 from the perimeter and make that the 3rd 3-point. That's going to be a potential 4-point play. And did you expect it to come from anyone else other than Brian Angola? Wow, did Angola roll his ankle? Let's have a look here. Angola, quick catch and shoot as he came down. That's tough. Hopefully he's going to be okay, because that would be a monumental loss to Colombia. Well, Brian Angola is one of the top pros you're ever going to meet in this game. A certified scorer. Because he's been averaging 14.3 points and 6.7 rebounds per game. But coming into this game, he'd only converted 4 3-pointers out of 19. And we do have a slight delay in game. I'm not quite sure what it's all over, but not sure if it's an issue with the shot clock but we'll try to keep you updated. Well, still a 3-point lead here to Colombia. It looks like the players are going to have to go to the benches. Still unaware of what the situation. It's an issue with the scoreboard. So I think the IT department is just going to try to get this resolved very quickly. But so far, very good start here for Colombia. Having knocked down 3 3-pointers already. Because Brian Angola currently is playing in the Spanish ACB Liga Endesa, where he was last season with Gran Canaria. They unfortunately did get relegated to the second tier of pro basketball in Spain. But he's had a great career. He's definitely played for some very top teams in the Basketball Champions League in Europe. Galatasaray, Karşıyaka. So we just try to get the scoreboard issues resolved. I know the IT man is around here somewhere, but I think for Venezuela, we saw some positivity coming out. I mean, they went into a zone, then they went into a matchup. They definitely played quickly, but it's going to be consistency for 4 quarters. Let's listen now, see what the coach has to say.
Hay que ir al rebote ofensivo. Hay que ir al rebote ofensivo. Elian, cada vez. Y atrás comunicación. Si es fondo, y está sacando el base, show.
Puede ser alto también. 4, 5, igual. En la zona de 1 y 3. Te vas, me voy, Tello viene.
Well, looks like the scoreboard has come back on. Now they just need to put the right time up Still a 3-point lead currently here to Colombia. And look at that. How about that? Brian Angola, player coach, player assistant coach. Well, Venezuela currently only have taken 2 3-pointers so far here in the first few minutes. While Colombia converted 3 at the moment. 2 of those have come from Hansel Atencia. And they haven't missed a 3 yet, Colombia. I think we're about ready to get things back underway as it does look like they have just the time now. Well, hopefully that gets resolved quite quickly because I think already as we've seen, this looks like it's going to be a great game between these two teams. Well, fans, like we said, end of August, that will be the beginning of the second round in window 4 of the Basketball World Cup qualifiers. And then window 5 and 6 will take place in November and then February to find out which teams will be heading to Doha 2027 for the Basketball World Cup. Brian Angola currently at the free throw line here for Colombia. I think now things look like they're about to pick up again. Definitely the speed of how this game is going to go tonight. Both coaches, especially for Venezuela, I mean, there's going to be a lot of anxiety. It's Juan Teo just having a few words there with the coaching staff. Can Brian Angola extend this back to a 2-possession lead to Colombia? Angola makes the free throw, and I think that could have been a lane violation had he missed it. Still early here in the first quarter, live here in Colombia. Final game of the Basketball World Cup qualifiers, first round. Venezuela so far with that only 1 3-point. Mijares passes this one up. That's good penetration. Someone's got to take this. Chudio's taking 1 3 and knocks this down. Second 3 of the game now for Venezuela. And it's their most experienced player. The man having already played in the Basketball World Cup. Pedro Chudio's now, and Chenique goes in with a one-handed jab. And the Colombian Tim Duncan, as they say in Colombia. We've got to continue to find ways to get him the ball. Venezuela, nice pick and roll. Again, goes in, gets rejected. And Chudio unable to follow up as Teo comes up with a rebound. And now here comes Colombia. Extend it again to a 2-possession lead. Juan Teo's got a mismatch, defended by Mijares. Goes for the mid-range. And another foul committed, and that's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Venezuela here in the first quarter. And that's on Elian Centeno. That's going to be his second personal foul. That's what you know you're going to get from Jaime Chenique. Just such a big body, but so technical, so skillful as Angola. And Colombia haven't missed the 3-pointer so far. This team is on fire. 6-point lead currently to Colombia. Venezuela just trying to build something yet again. They've made a few threes. Now make a third one. 7 3-pointers already made in the first 5 minutes. Incredible. And this time it's Jose Mataran. Venezuela, they're in a matchup. They're passing around. They want that 3-pointer. Here it comes. Incredible. 5 3-pointers. Está fuego. 8 threes made in the first part of the first quarter. I wonder what shot Venezuela's going to take. Juan Teo gets his first field goal. Now Mijares. Nice little lob pass in the paint. No angle, though. Has to kick out. It's going to be the second team foul against Colombia. Now, Enrique Medina had to come into the game because Centeno fouled out. Now Medina is about 7'2". And he's still a young prospect, so we're looking at the future Windy Grattero figure for this national team. Also, Edson Tovar into the lineup. A little hesitation. Churio, a little backdoor, and uses the bank to perfection, cutting it down to 4 points. That's his second field goal tonight. I think the fans want to see more three-point shooting. Echenique bumps, goes in. Well, what a big-time block by Medina, and he forces a turnover. Size for size, Enrique Medina. Just saying, Jaime Echenique. Not today, sir. No en mi casa. Este es mi casa, amigo. And Venezuela cut it down to 2. Medina. Oh, he's going to turn it over. Good defense. Venezuela, no fouls to give, but in the end, they come up with another steal. Churio. That's going to be another turnover. Oh, no, they called a foul. Well, Tovada went to the ground, but no, they have. Oh, yes, they have, yeah. So that will be a third team foul against Colombia. Well, Tovada doing a good job defensively here at the moment, but there's Romario Roque, who's naturally a primary point guard, is going to come into the game. So I wonder if they're going to send Hansel Atencia to the 2, as now Soren De Luque also coming in here for Colombia. Still a 4-point deficit. Tovada crosses over, bumps, and that's a tough little reverse layup facing inside the paint. Well, Venezuela, this may be the rebuild era, but there's a lot to like about this team. Mataran. That's going to be a foul, so Teo will go to the bench. I think with 3:20 left, you got to ask the question, why doesn't Colombia just go straight to Juan Teo, Jaime Echenique? Because Venezuela don't possess the same size as Colombia tonight. So they've got to take that. I mean, wow. Jose Mataran. That's quite a hard reach if you ask me. Juan Teo currently the charity stripe here for Colombia. Well, you can hear the echoes of Juan Teo's name as far as Lithuania and all over the world. I mean, he's such an internationally recognized player. Currently played for Agatas de Corrientes in Argentina. So makes a second free throw. 3-point lead currently here to Colombia. Just over 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Tovar trying to twist and turn, but he turns it over. And now Colombia. Can they extend it back to a 2-possession lead? They'll go back to Juan Teo. Teo one bounce, little jump hook. A little too strong. Medina didn't know where the ball was, but still Venezuela, they come up with it. Cifuentes tries to attack. Little bump and another rejection. And now here comes Colombia. Angola. Rocky makes one extra pass. Atencia has made 2 threes. Not going to get this one. And the ball finds Pedro Trujillo. Venezuela's got to take care of the basketball. Trying to ISO here against Hansel Atencia. Nice pass on the baseline. And Venezuela finding points in the paint, exploiting the weaknesses of Colombia's defense. As Yoni Tovar, all of a sudden cutting it down to a 1-point deficit. Angola finds the penetration, goes in and avoids the block from Medina. And I'm telling you, Enrique Medina could be a solid in the paint, post-interior insurance policy for Venezuela. What a difference he's making at the moment. Well, Jaime Echenique is going to come into the game along with Juan Cardenas. So both teams rotating here in the first quarter, just over 2 minutes. Can Venezuela take the lead? Remember, they must win by 3 tonight to win the head-to-head against Colombia. Little ghost action screen from Yoni Tovar. Still keeping this one alive. Time winding down for Venezuela. Gotta shoot this one. Goes for a step back and ay Dios mío! From downtown, big time 3. Really huge Dagger to give Venezuela a 2-point cushion against Colombia. 9 3-pointers made here in the first quarter. It's become the cookout show. Angola has to kick out. Cardenas penetrates, but in the end turns it over. And now here comes Venezuela. Nice pass in transition and unable to finish. Well, that could have extended the lead to 4 points. Give Colombia the advantage they need. Zenchinique on the baseline. Now Colombia just rushing their offense. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. What can Venezuela build from this? Well, there's a lob, finds Medina. Medina keeps alive, and the big man gets his first 2 points. And if it stays like this, Venezuela would have the head-to-head against Colombia. Colombia only with 2 victories here in the first 3 windows. Venezuela only with 1. A timeout's going to be called by Colombia. We'll head down to their bench to find out what the message is going to be.
Vamos a buscar otra vez de asociarnos. Si ellos bien, están nuestros 2 hombres grandes aquí. Alguno de los 2 tiene que bajar para que capte la atención de la defensa y nosotros podamos rotar y conseguir los tiros más cómodos. Los 2 están jugando aquí. Eso obliga obviamente a que como no son tiradores, estos jugadores están marcando fácilmente a estos jugadores. Entonces, uno que baje y otro que suba. Con eso podemos tener opciones mejores de gol. Ahora, la defensa es individual. Cada uno marca a su jugador. Ahora, si este jugador llega hasta aquí, como lo estamos dirigiendo a la izquierda, es imposible que nos lancen la cara. Es imposible. O sea, sí, vamos a dirigir a la izquierda, pero no es para que vaya al aro. Hay que tratar de meternos más y que ese jugador por lo menos recule hacia atrás y nosotros podamos jugar. Pero si lo van a dejar ir, estamos clavados. Ok, vamos a mejorar.
Ellos no están jugando mejor que nosotros, pero le metieron más ganas en los últimos 3.
Well, it's been a good response so far here from Venezuela, turning this game around. Remember, they have to win. There is the deep triple. All the way from Barquisimeto by Edson Tovar. Look at the little penetration here by Tovar. Finding that separation. He's the young man currently playing for Trotamundos, the Carabobo in Venezuela. He's a one-club man for sure. And that is a Trotamundos triple. Nice little kick out in the corner. Can Colombia make the 6-3? That's not going to go. It goes out of bounds. That's going to remain possession to Colombia. Mario Roque. Well, he'll go for another one in the corner. Colombia battling, but Medina coming up with another rebound. And with him on the floor, there's not going to be many second chance points for Colombia. Well, Venezuela go for another one. That time unable to connect, but now coming up with an offensive rebound. Just over 3 seconds difference between game and shot clock. So far, Venezuela out rebounding Colombia, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Enrique Medina. An illegal screen. So Colombia get it back with 9.4. Oh, Romario Roque, one of those players you could definitely put the ball in the hands and make him go to work. That's only the first foul against Enrique Medina. And so far, he's proven his worth. Roque goes to his left, penetrates, gets his pocket pick, goes out of bounds. With 2.9, Colombia will have it on the baseline. And so Atencio will inbound this. A bit of a fadeaway three in the corner, unable to connect. And that is the end of the first quarter. Venezuela need to win by 3 tonight at the moment. They have a 4-point advantage and a must-win against Colombia. Third window, final game of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers. Well, this group has been very competitive. Chile, Brazil. It could be decided to see who joins both Chile and Brazil this evening. I mean, a total of 9 3-pointers converted. Both teams shot the ball so well from the 3-point line. But Colombia, only 2 field goals from inside the rainbow. We'll take a look at the highlights from the first quarter very soon. Venezuela decided to go to a 2-3 zone defense, and Hansel Atencia made them pay not once but twice from the same spot. And then Venezuela realized, well, we'll go a bit of high-flying alley-oop basketball. It's good work there by Elian Centeno, and then look at the dribble handoff by Jefferson Guerra by the free throw line. Ryan Angola converting a 4-point play from the perimeter before the scoreboard had turned off, and it was the first three of the game by Venezuela's most experienced player, Pedro Churio. And here was Jaime Echenique with the one-handed rim. Well, this man, Jose Mataran, born in Barquisimeto, the home of Guadalajara, but made in Venezuelan basketball's Juan Teo. Arguably one of the greatest centers in the history of Colombian basketball, knocks down his first three, but look at this, Edson Tovar. Well, he took that from Caracas. And he didn't wear a Cocodrilos jersey wearing it.
Echenique y Tello. ¿Listo? Síganos, Mario. ¡Hey, muchachos! ¡Hey, 1, 2, 3! Cuando corramos.
Still a whole another quarter to come up here. Well, fans, scan the QR code to access the login to Courtside 1891. Watch live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and much more. Courtside 1891. Try to break this game down a little further. Let's look at some of the key stats in this game. Venezuela, 3 points off turnovers. Currently 8 points in the paint to only 4 Colombians. Welcome back. We're live here at Coliseo Evangelista Mora here in Colombia. Final game of the third window. Venezuela with the first possession. A nice little pump through. Nice little step through. And Cam, what a BEA. Beautiful play by Johanna Cifuentes. Putting on a bit of footwork. Cifuentes now 2 points, 2 assists. And look at the defense. All goes wrap around behind the back end. Vamos, Venezuela! As Edson Tovar now moving up to 7 points. That's 5 points converted from Colombia's turnovers. Venezuela in total control of this one at the moment. Monteo looks to attack. Finds Echenique in the paint. This is better for Colombia. Find Echenique. Echenique goes up, and that's going to be an and-one. And why not just go to the big fella? He's unguardable. Well, if that foul is on Enrique Medina, that's going to be a second personal. Right there. Good call. Well, that's just experience versus youth. Oh no, they called the foul on the ground, excuse me. So no and one. So my apologies, I had it wrong. Still Colombia down by 8 points. Hansel Atencia. Full screen set by Juan Teo. Romero Roque finding Echenique. That's just too easy defense there from Medina. Medina forcing a baseline, but you cannot do that against Palacaneso's Reggiana's Jaime Echenique. 6 points already for the big fella. And Medina's going to have to come out of the game because he now has 3 fouls. Venezuela get it inbound. Cifuentes gets another Medina screen. Pulls off from 15. That's way too short as Juan Teo comes up with it. Venezuela nearly intercept this one. As Edson Tovar just got a hand to it to prevent a quick transition for Colombia. Good anticipation by Edson Tovar. That's going to remain Colombia ball on the sideline. As Barquisimeto, born and raised, Jose Mataran back in the lineup here for Venezuela. Teo twisting, turning, goes in, gets rejected. Well, what a big-time block, and now here comes Venezuela. Alley-oop time, and unable to connect. Comes up with a rebound. Well, they've made 4 threes. Make it 5. And extending it to a 9-point lead. Venezuela fly with confidence. 6 points now for Edwin Mijares. Atencia. Venezuela, good hands on defense, now forcing another turnover. And you like what you're seeing from this young Venezuelan team. It was Yanni Tovar who had the big block. Cifuentes. Still time in for Venezuela. Fouls drawn now. Will it be an and one? But it'll be 2 free throws coming up for Venezuela. Look at this by Cifuentes. Such a crafty play. And you have to remember, nearly all of these Venezuelan players either play domestically in Venezuela or a lot of them play in Argentina. Some of them have, like Cifuentes actually has played in Colombia. Well, he's had quite an outstanding career. Johannes Cifuentes standing at 192 centimeters, born and raised in Caracas. Well, he's played in Brazil, Argentina, and as I mentioned, he's played in Colombia twice. Well, most recently, he played for the capital city team, the Cocodrilos de Caracas. 7 games, he averaged 9 points in the Venezuelan SPB. It's a very short time playing in Colombia. We play for Titanes de Barranquilla. Now, Barranquilla has hosted many international games for Colombia's national team. Second free throw made. 11-point lead. Cifuentes will go to the bench as Jefferson Guerra coming into the game. Great performance so far from Cifuentes. Colombia's got to pick themselves up. This could be elimination tonight if they don't win this game. Remember, they can lose, but it's got to be by 1. Aggressive bump. And Colombia just can't break down the zone. Venezuela lead by 11. Another foul committed, and that's going to be the 3rd team foul against Colombia. So no more fouls to give here in the second quarter. The foul is on Hansel Atencio. Mijares gives this one up, finds Jose Mataran. Mataran goes in, and he misses the layup. He's got to be able to make that one uncontested. Well, Mataran makes up for it. It's going to be a turnover. No, it's going to remain possession to Colombia. Good hands by Jose. What's actually, Jose Mataran should have recovered that one. Well, Colombia's going to call timeout, I believe. They're going to talk this one over, trailing by 11 points after leading by 6. So let's go to their bench to find out what the message will be.
No hay ningún problema con eso, ¿ok? Lo importante es que no perdamos pelotas en eso. O sea, hey, este pasecito corto, sí, este pase aquí, reubiquemos y ya tenemos la opción del triángulo aquí para atacar. Ahora, ataque. Hay que asirvarse por acá, pantallitas, moverse. Ahora, hey, en defensa. Lo peor es que en defensa no estamos compitiendo. Podemos cambiar, ellos no tienen ahora ningún hombre grande ahí. ¿Listo? Vámonos igual, individual. ¿Listo? Dale pues. Juega. Acá. Dale. 1, 2, 3. Uno más.
Well, welcome back from this timeout. Venezuela currently leading by 11 points. Romario Roque. 7 seconds remaining here on the shot clock. He's got to go quick. Angola's made a few threes tonight, and he'll make another one. That's the first one of the second quarter. 6 3-pointer in total for Colombia. Well, he hasn't missed a 3 tonight. That's going to be Colombia's 4th and final foul to give away. Mijares right now unguardable. Well, can Colombia refrain this from being a 10-point lead? Because if Venezuela wins, it's a three-way tie. But Tovar turns it over. Nearly turning it back over, but Roque's able to recover. Venezuela's got to actually win by, well, if they win by 3, they win the head-to-head, but they must win by 10. Because then it would be points difference. So the foul is going to be called against Jose Materan. The problem they have, they don't have the size to deal with either Juan Teo or Jaime Enchenique. Teo kicks out. Still time here for Angola. Angola hasn't missed a 3 tonight. He's fouled in the process. That's 3 free throws coming up. And it's on Yoni Tovar. So this is going to be a potential 6-0 run here for Colombia if Brian Angola can make all 3 free throws. Oh, Brian Angola, what an outstanding ambassador. A true legend. This man has been for Colombian basketball. I say it's been a very long time, as I've already mentioned. 44 years since Colombia have gone to a Basketball World Cup. They've only been once. And that was when they hosted back in 1982. Third free throw, no good for Angola. 6-point lead currently here to Venezuela. They must win by 10 in the event that it's a 3-way tie between Chile, Colombia, and Venezuela. Mija finds another 3, hand his face, unable to connect. And if the 3s don't drop, Venezuela's got to find other ways to score. Angola. Roque kicks out. He hasn't missed a 3 yet. He'll go for another one. Mijares collects a rebound. Well, Venezuela have had more points with inside the rainbow already this evening, so they don't have to go for 3s. And they're out rebounding Colombia. Able to pull up from the mid-range, just a little too quick. There's Roque. Tries to take on the entire defense, and this man will go coast to coast. And now it's going to be Venezuela. Cool timeout, and I think Romario Roque just had a few palabras for the defense. A 7-0 run from Colombia. We'll head down to Venezuela's bench. 5:23 to go here in the second quarter to find out what's going to be said from the coaching staff.
Sprinta. Llevamos 3 pull-up, 1 de 3, otro de 2, sin tocar la pintura. Eso es lo que quieren ellos, que tiren pull-up. Vamos a seguir moviendo la pelota. Venga, todas las de RAN están saliendo bien. Sí, si jugamos el flash y está este bloqueo, va al aro rápido. Te están poniendo el ciego, hay que dársela a Lian allí en el aro. Existía el pase ese, pero tienes que ir rápido, no puedes ir caminando. Ahora no podemos gastar, ya estamos. Tenemos una para gastar para su contraataque. Pero necesitamos rebote ofensivo, ahora están agarrando el rebote y corriendo todo. Vamos a gastar en el rebote todo, venga, vamos.
Well, the tough finish in transition by Romario Roque. Maybe that's what Colombia needs, a little more open floor. I think he said, "No puedes defenderme, amigo." I don't think you can guard me. Still Colombia's leading scorer, 12 points from Brian Angola. Venezuela just needs something a little bit more from Edwin Mijares at the moment. When the 3s don't drop, that's when it can become very frustrating. They must find other ways to score. That's a good finish now from Venezuela. And it's Barquisimeto man, Jose Materan. That's his second 3 tonight. Juan Teo, this is what he likes, mid-range. And that's simply automatic from Juan Teo. So far, Venezuela 6 out of 9 from the three-point line. This is clumsy now from Colombia because any more fouls, you just send Venezuela to the free throw line. So it will be Jose Mataran. Foul is going to be called against Juan Cardenas. Let's have a look here. Yeah, he's got arms all over him. Well, Mataran last season playing in the SPB for Marinos de Anzoátegui. He's also played in Argentina, played for Huevia Baja Bianca Basket. There's 2 seasons between 2017 and 2018. Also played for a third, actually. Like I said, all the Venezuelan players have at some point in their career gone abroad. Mostly Argentina, quite often to Brazil. Atencia's made 2 threes, and he'll make a third one. Well, it's become a three-point shootout. Incredible scene so far this evening. 7-3 of the game for Colombia. These teams don't even get to that stat all the way through. A little pass deflection. Colombia saved from going out of bounds. Trail by as many as 11 here in the second quarter. A three-pointer would level things up. Monteo can go for it. Not going to get it. Okay, just too physical, not giving away the rebound. A line off from downtown, and there you have it, the 8th three-pointer as Montaño. What did these two teams eat for breakfast? They make everything. Nice back door, goes in, throws it down with 2 hands. Oh, they needed that one from Centeno. Great basketball watching right now. It's unfortunate that one of these teams is going to be eliminated. Angola still leading the score at 12 points. That's going to be a foul in Venezuela's. Now, if that's on Centeno, that's going to be his, I believe that's his 3rd personal foul. Yeah, I believe it is. So Ricky Medina may need to come back in. I mean, why reach? Why? Centeno's going to be a fantastic player, but there's a lot for this man to learn. Still 26 years of age, also playing in Argentina. Teo goes for a tough fadeaway. That's not going to go. Venezuela came up with a rebound, and now they want to push this one. Slender 2-point lead. Colombia have no more fouls to give him. What a penetration right to the rack. And it's that man again, Cifuentes. 3rd field goal for him this evening. Venezuela, I said they need to win by 3. That's just to win the head-to-head. It's a tough move again by Romario Roque. Well, he's no longer the young kid wearing the national team jersey. He's a part of the rotation. A very crucial ingredient to the success of this team. Trying to find Tovar. That's the kick out. Little mid-range on the baseline. That's another unsuccessful attempt of Venezuela. And now here comes Roque. Can give Colombia the lead. That would have been 9 threes in the first half. That would have truly been magnificent. Still Colombia have it. Both teams have 4 offensive rebounds so far here. Roque. Gotta shoot this one surely. Pulls up for it. 9 three-pointers in the first half for Colombia. Well, the Colombia Warriors. This team just make it rain as they reclaim the lead by 1. 9 out of 15. Venezuela 6 out of 9. It's a nice penetration since a foul called on Juan Teo. Cifuentes now will go to the free throw line. We've seen a total of 15 three-pointers made here between both Colombia and Venezuela. Hansel Atencia just having a few words there with the official. So Cifuentes now at the free throw line. It was only the first personal foul against Juan Teo. Well, Cifuentes started his career back in 2014. He's at a 194 centimeter tall guard, roughly 6'3", as he makes them both. Reclaiming the lead now here for Venezuela. Well, Colombia having trailed by as many as 11 collectively, finding a way back in this one. You got to make sure they don't lose by 10. Nice hesitation by Roque. Teo comes up with it, and Teo finishes. And Venezuela just don't take care of the rebounds. But given the time here, this could be a potential 3 for 2. Juan Teo, 2 points, 5 rebounds away from a double-double. And that's out of control, but it's going to remain possession to Venezuela. Well, Cifuentes currently on the ground. That's a sign for concern. I think he just took a shot there. Inadvertent shot there from Juan Teo. Nonetheless, still going to be a baseline possession. Venezuela called timeout. 13 remain on the shot clock. 1:17. Let's listen now to los entrenadores.
Vamos, hostia. Aquí está Johnny. Sifo. Con bloqueo de Chori haces el care aquí para que Chorio vaya a esta esquina. Tienes al Chorio en esta esquina para el triple. Ahora Materán, bloqueo aquí, que Sifo cae a la pintura. Tienes a Sifo debajo del aro. Y ahora Johnny bloquea a Materán, que tiene el tiro de este lado. ¿De acuerdo? Tienes 1, 2 y 3 cayendo. ¡Vamos a la defensa, hostia!
Hombre contra
¡Vamos!
1, 2, 3.
Pero es que él ya tiene de una vez a un pequeño, profe, por eso se queda él ahí pidiéndola. Sí, está bien.
Muy estático y esa pelota no llega.
Well, it's going to be inbounded by Tavad. Venezuela trailing by 1. Colombia looked like they may have gone into his own defense. Mataran. Well, it's going to be a stepping out of bounds, and Tavad has got to come back into play. And now Colombia. Well, they've led by as many as 6 points so far here in the first half from Romario Roque. It's had quite a productive game so far here for Colombia. Can they make 10 threes? That time not going. Colombia don't want to foul. Numbers here for Venezuela. Goes in and finishes coast to coast. A nice take by Edson Tovar. Making up for the turnover that he caused only just previously. Attention goes in and Tovar with a big time rejection and no in mi casa. Mataran tried to save it. Well, Yoni Tovar said, no en mi casa, tú no eres bienvenido. Not welcome. And that's a big-time defensive play. Still a slender 1-point lead to Venezuela. 13 seconds remaining here on the shot clock. Can they get one final stop? The team that must win by 10 points. In the event they do win, it would be a 3-way tie between Chile, Venezuela, and Colombia. If Colombia wins, they'll be joining Brazil and Chile in the second round. Atentia. That's not going to go. That's another unnecessary foul. That's just going to send Johanner Cifuentes back to the free throw line. And it's a good thing if he makes both of these. Well, that 3 for 2 is going to be on the card still for Venezuela. Romario Roque, just unnecessary. You've already put Venezuela into the penalty. Venezuela so far this evening, 6 out of 8 from the free throw line. Cervantes currently their second leading scorer behind Edson Tovar, and just way too short on the free throw. But 7.8 seconds difference between game and shot clock now here for Venezuela. Still can make this. Still potentially could have the final shot if they get one final stop on defense. Cervantes makes the second one. And that's going to be a provisional substitution. So Carlos Fulda checking the lineup now for Venezuela. Montaño haven't made that one three-pointer. He'll check out as Jaime Echenique comes back in. Atencio. High screen with Juan Teo. Picks up the Teo. Teo goes in. That's going to be a foul, so 2 free throws coming up for Juan Teo. Oh, Yoni Tovar looks like he wants to block everything. Now, was it on Yoni Tovar? Let's have a look here. No, I think that's going to be against Johanner Cifuentes. So 2 needed free throws here for Colombia. Can they level things up? Juan Teo, currently 8 points as well, can become the second player in double figures if he makes both free throws. Does Colombia want to make one final change? Montaño will come back in. They just don't want Echenique to pick up any further fouls. Well, Juan Palacios now 41 years of age. Of course, former Louisville player, leaving in 2008. Where has this man not played in European basketball? So 16.4 seconds left. Colombia managed to cut it down to 1. Venezuela will have the final possession. Pedro Churio. Well, they've got to go quick. Not a lot of time. Got an ankle breaker. Cifuentes. They find Tovar, and he'll extend it to a 3-point lead to Venezuela. And I'm not sure what happened to Brian Angola. Angola took a shot to the face. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't think there was anything in that in terms of, I mean, there's definitely contact for sure, but I don't think Yoni Tovar did this on purpose by any means. I think that's completely accidental because he didn't see it coming. Now the officials are going to have a look at an official review. A legendary leyenda, Jose Vargas, 2019 Basketball World Cup. Well, let's have a listen now, and let's look with the officials to find out if any further action needs to take place. Well, no further action. I think you could see quite clearly Yoni Tovar, excuse me, didn't have his eyes on Brian Angola. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances. Both players collided, but Colombia get it back with 5 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Down by 3, having trailed by as many as 11. Venezuela, no fouls to give. Roque still has it, gets rejected. Oh no, they've called a foul. Romario Roque will go to the free throw line. And you can see every entire Venezuelan player so frustrated with themselves there because now the officials need to decide, was there still time left when the foul was committed? I think that's what they're going to go to the monitor to find out. But Roque has a chance to level things up here before the end of the second quarter. So I think we're going to try to analyze how much time was remaining when the foul was committed. Oh, it's close. 7, 8, 9/10 of a second left. So probably 8/10 of a second remaining here for Venezuela. It's been a hell of a first half. Venezuela 6 3-pointers. Colombia have made 9. The foul is on Venezuela's joint leading scorer Edson Tavares. Also Johannes Cifuentes has 9 points. And if Romario Roque makes all 3 of these free throws, well, he'll become the second player in double figures this evening. So 3 free throws now coming up for Romario Roque. Well, Roque, she's playing in Venezuela for Héroes de Falcón. So he's very well accustomed of all these Venezuelan talented players around him. I can say some of them, I would say he probably calls them his hombres. Makes the first one. Colombia so far tonight, they have missed 3 free throws, but now they are 6 out of 9 from the charity stripe. Roque can't level things up. Oh, make that the 4th missed free throw. Colombia may not need to have to win this game. As long as they lose by 9 points or less, Venezuela will be eliminated. But free throws have to count. 2 out of 3 from Romario Roque. Venezuela, they get it in. Pump fake, that's not going to count. And at the end of the first half, it's Venezuela who lead by 1. And I think a technical is going to be called against Venezuela's coaching staff. So this will mean Colombia will have a free throw to commence the second half and can level things up. Venezuela have to win by 10. Every point has got to count at this stage. Well, there's the leading scorer. 12 points from Brian Angola. Having converted so far very good 3-point shooting. 3 out of 4 from the perimeter. 3 out of 6 in total. But it's the 9 3-pointers that have kept Colombia in this one. Outstanding 3-point shooting for the Colombians. And also credit to Venezuela. Venezuela currently, well, their 3-point shooting has been spectacular. 6 out of 9 a total. 15 3-point field goals have been converted out of 25. I mean, that's an excellent shooting stat. Venezuela currently out-rebounding Colombia 20-15. I think Venezuela did most of the damage when they went into his own defense. They also have more assists, but no Venezuelan player in double figures at the moment. Well, only 2 players in Venezuela haven't scored. Brian Gonzalez, as well as Fuenmayor and Carlos Fulgas, so 3 in total. Some outstanding play here from both teams in the first half, but as we mentioned, Venezuela, to get to a 3rd consecutive Basketball World Cup, they must win by 10. Colombia, it's been 44 years since they've gone to a Basketball World Cup. 1982. Many of these players, well, they weren't even born then. Juan Teo that time finding the and-1 3-pointer from Brian Angola, who converted the 4-point play. And it was Romario Roque. Currently 9 points so far in this game. This is Hantel Atentia, but look at this. Robada time passing up and then finding Jose Mataran. Oh, we've seen some great backcourt play from the Venezuelans. Edwin Mijares. But it was the 3rd 3 from Hantel Atentia. So both him and Brian Angola. It's over 60% of the 3-pointers, and Montano straight off the bench. Colombian confidence from the 3-point line. And a 2-handed dunk by Elian Centeno. Well, Centeno, of course, does have 3 fouls, and here was the 9th 3-pointer for Colombia. Well, they have been unconscious. Terrifying confidence from Colombia's from their three-point shooting. If they continue this in the second half, it could be a problem. We'll be back in just under a few minutes.
Alexander, little hezzy, steps back, short corner to the other side as he falls out of bounds. He gets it to go. Living up to the hype early here.
Baseline drive, oh nice play, and the finish! And Joaquin Rodriguez loves that play, and so does everybody, pretty much everybody here.
There's a lob and another thunderous alley-oop. Lindo, what a start to the game for him.
Time Bahamas defense just coming into players now. Here we go again, and one more time. Are you kidding me? Third pick in the first round of the NBA draft, and it is indeed the 76er himself, VJ Edgecombe. His head coach not giving up at the moment. Coach Richard Turner, another alley-oop, and one more time, KJ, straight off the bench in fresh bunnies.
Guarded by James, Feliz around James, Feliz inside, bingo! Joel Soriano. United States up by 2. Near side, into the corner. Craig for the lead. An incredible shot hit there by Torrey Craig in the corner, giving the United States a 1-point lead.
Penetrate, kick. Campazzo, extra pass. Nice crossover and always moving without the ball. Brassinho. And good defense from Roque, getting right in the passing lane. Angola! Oh my goodness, he has just taken off and crushed a right-hand dunk, and he loves it. Can they get a good look? Can they space the floor? Herrera to win it. He's made the shot. This is unreal. Chile just doing amazing things here down the stretch. They were gone. It looked as though their World Cup dreams were in tatters.
How many times are we going to see this? Baseline, are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
Go attacks the closeout, feed Bruno inside.
Fills it up.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We are live here in Colombia for this final game of window number 3 in the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. As currently, it's Colombia versus Venezuela. A must-win tonight by Venezuela. Colombia currently being led by Brian Angola, who has 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 12 points. Nearly triple-double numbers for the Gran Canaria superstar. He's been outstanding from the three-point line, only missing 1 3-point field goal this evening. They need a lot more from that. Remember, if Colombia wins, they, along with Chile and Brazil, who have already qualified for round 2, will go through. They just need to make sure they can still lose tonight and go through. But they need to make sure they lose by 9 points or less, which then would see Venezuela eliminated. Juan Teo making that extra pass, finding Brian Angola. Good start so far here for both teams. Colombia knocking down 9 3-point field goals. Well, they have been on fire thus far. While Venezuela, the man leading them is Johanner Cifuentes. That time putting on a bit of magic. But no Venezuelan player currently in double figures. They also have a very good 3-point percentage. Venezuela currently 6 out of 9 from the 3-point line. Something they'll be looking to further improve in this game. We've seen a total of 15 3-pointers converted in this first half. And he also has 3 assists and 3 rebounds in this must-win game for Venezuela. Well, Venezuela have been to 5 FIBA Basketball World Cups. They've gone to the most recent 2 in China 2019, where they ended up losing to Argentina to get to the knockout stage. And then they went and featured in the 2023 Basketball World Cup, playing the group stage in Okinawa, Japan. 1990 in Argentina, 2002 in Indianapolis in the USA, 2006 in Japan. 5 Basketball World Cups in the last 36 years. Welcome back, everybody. We're live here in beautiful Colombia, Coliseo Evangelista Mora. Colombia definitely fancy their chances here in the second half. Mijares currently leading the assists at the moment here for Venezuela. Centeno, who's had a very productive game, it also has 3 fouls. This is kind of the rebuild era of Venezuelan basketball. No more Jesus Guigent and even Jose Vargas. One of their former greatest players currently on the bench is the assistant coach of this national team. Well, good start so far from Cifuentes, currently playing in Santa Fe in Argentina. Currently a very exciting game, to say the very least, between these two teams. Well, Cifuentes has got to make himself, I would say, probably the primary go-to scorer. I mean, they've had, you see number 35 there, Jose Mataran, currently spent the last few years playing in Brazil as one of the top 3-point shooters. They got to find him. Find him some more looks from the 3-point line. We just know one thing as well, a player of his magnitude, Cifuentes. I mean, he's got to be an all-around player here in the second half. I think the one thing, if you really break this game down, you look at the deep stats in this one. In Colombia, right now they've been outscored in the paint, and that's something that they would be a little wary of, having a player like Jaime Nchiniki, but they only have 12 points in the paint. Venezuela 20, and they're not all coming from the bigs. But the positive note for Colombia, 9 second chance points and only a total of 10 fast break points between these two teams. 6 of them have gone to Venezuela. Venezuela, well, they've done a good job whenever Colombia's turned it over. Colombia so far tonight have only committed 5 turnovers. But when we talk about Venezuela's efficiency, they've converted 5 of those turnovers into 7 fast break points. Still a lot of basketball to play. 1 half remaining. But like I said, Colombia may not need to win this one. They have the 2 wins already, but the more wins you have will play into factor when you go into the second round in windows 4, 5, and 6. Well, it's going to be an exciting second half, that's to say the very least. You know one thing, both teams are really going to go at it. In the case of Colombia, they've got to improve things and try to find Jaime and Shiniki, because that's another thing. You look at both centers tonight, both natural centers. In the case of Elian Centeno and Enrique Medina, both of them got into a little bit of early foul trouble. And that's one thing Venezuela, as great as they have been in the backcourt, they've been in transition. They've also had a very good night from the perimeter. They just don't possess the size and physicality to match up, whether it's Juan Teo at the power forward or Jaime and Shiniki. And even Montaño's come into the game and played some very solid minutes for the Colombians.
Que está Roma o no sé, ¿sí? Lo que podemos hacer es un cambio momentáneo y que ellos ponte disponible para ver si podemos, pero cuando este man haga la pantalla y venga aquí, sí, que Romario trate de salir, ¿ok? Pero este jugador que es el Echenique, que haga como no un step.
Fácil.
Porque es que
Cuando
al
venga,
esperarlo,
nosotros sabemos que viene. Cuando venga el grande, haz un tap block y mándalo para allá. Y tú quédate aquí arriba, ¿ok? Después jugamos floppy touch para seguir moviendo el balón, ¿de acuerdo? Escucharme, dos de verdad. Solo el balón es el que está defendido, de hombre a hombre, el balón hombre a hombre. Y después cambiamos. El único que no cambia es Enrique. Ven.
1, 2, 3. Enrique aquí, Contello puede ser aquí. Y ustedes aquí cerca pueden hacer enseguida esto, o enseguida pase la pelota.
Well, fans, make sure you use that QR code and scan it to download the official FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifying app. Customize your experience, follow all your favorite teams, players, up until Doha 2027 for the Basketball World Cup. You can download it on your smartphone, your tablet, or Android. Well, Enrique Medina is going to check back into action. Good first half so far from Juan Teo. Juan Teo, 9 points. Colombia. Well, that's the technical foul, the coach technical. Because unfortunately, that was picked up by Venezuela's head coach, Francisco Segura. Now we're all leveled up here to begin the second half. Welcome, we're live here in Colombia. Final game of window number 3 of the first round. Venezuela back into a man-to-man matchup. Well, they leave Romario Roque wide open. Teo coming up with an offensive rebound. Tenses made 3 threes, now penetrates and goes off the bank, giving Colombia a slender 2-point lead. Venezuela looked like they were in a zone, then went to a matchup, but then they left Romario Roque wide open. Civante's still their leading scorer. Finds Medina on the lob. Medina wasn't ready for it. And that goes out of bounds. But he's still a young player. It's part of his development. And as I reiterate, this is still the development, the rebuild era of the Venezuelan national team basketball. Two-point lead currently. Angola currently 13 points. Finds Jaime and Echenique, spins baseline and goes in. Too big, too strong. And the Colombian Tim Duncan just way too dominant. We knew it was coming. Post entry, spins, and just goes to work. What a move by Jaime and Echenique, and that has got Basketball Champions League written all over it. BCL, baby. And that is going to be a third foul against Enrique Medina. So both of Venezuela's centers, Elian Centeno and Medina, both 3 fouls each. Venezuela don't want to go small ball against this lineup because it'll be double teaming the centers. 9 3-pointers already made by Colombia. That's a problem. Nice little fake by Cifuentes. It goes out of bounds. I think Michael Jackson. Oh, no. Not sure what happened there. Colombia can extend their lead. Angola, the horns double high screen. Finds Echenique. Colombia patiently passing around the place. Roque just tries to use a screen. Now lose control of it, so that's going to be another Colombian turnover. It's very similar to the beginning of the first quarter. Colombia built a very substantial lead, but that's their 9th turnover tonight. They just have to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. Julio's made 1 3. They've made 6. Not going to get this one. Nice battle. 60% from the three-point line for Venezuela. We'll go for another one. He's made 3, and that's his 4th three-pointer, and the 7th one tonight here for Venezuela. Much better play here. Cutting it down to a 2-point deficit. And Venezuela minus 10 in points difference coming into this game against Colombia. Teo spins, goes in, unable to finish. Well, have they called an offensive foul here against Colombia? Juan Teo protesting that he got fouled there, but the official's not going to go with it. So Venezuela, he'll get it back. Chance to level things up. Or maybe take the lead if they go for another three-pointer. Mataran had a look at 3. Now penetrates. And just gets it to rattle in. Well, he's having a big performance. 2nd leading scorer tonight, right behind Brian Angola, 12. Venezuela want to stay in this man-to-man matchup. They're going to have to switch everything on the backcourt. Echenique in the paint. Remember, Centeno's got 3 fouls. Oh, it's going to be an offensive foul against Echenique. I thought they were going to go for an and-1. That's his 4th foul. Let's have a look here. What happens? Oh, yeah, good call. Good decision by the referees. And Jaime Echenique now with 4 personal fouls. I don't think we're going to see him until the 4th quarter. Could spell a bit of an issue now here for Colombia. Mijares just fancies they go in the paint, but unable to finish. And that could have given them the lead from Centeno as Juan Teo comes up with it. He's had a very good game. Goes for another one. That's the 10th three-pointer. Colombia cooking from the three-point line. Incredible. 12 points now tonight here for Romario Roque. Baseline play. Julio still has it. Little step through, and that's nice. Solid move by the veteran. The experience of a man who's played in a Basketball World Cup. But still, Colombia just hang on to a slender 1-point lead. 7 points tonight for Pedro Turio. Colombia, they go in the corner. Tensi's made 3 threes, and now they've made 11. They're not missing anytime soon. They're shooting the lights out. They are making it rain tonight. 4 threes for Hansel Atencio, as he now becomes the game's leading scorer. Venezuela go for another one. That's just way too short. Venezuela not out of it by any means, but they need plus 14 points to turn this around to get to the 2nd round. Atencio wants to go quick. Teo goes mid-range. Well, you don't give him any space. A timeout's going to be called by Venezuela. 5:47. And after Jaime Echenique picked up that 4th foul, Colombia have turned it up a notch. Venezuela looking down the barrel of elimination here from Group C of the FIBA Basketball World Cup American Qualifiers. Let's listen now to the coaching staff.
Calma, escuchamos, calma.
¿Somos capaces de estar hablando o nos tenemos que poner nombre? Nos tenemos que poner nombre para que esté cada uno con el vuestro y no esté a 2 metros de Tello. ¿Qué es lo que hace? Tiro a media distancia, no puede estar a 3 metros de él. Cerca, está jugando de 5, te va a tirar en la cara a media distancia. Vamos a estar cerca, están tirando solos.
No, vamos, lo tenemos mañana, bien.
Tenemos una falta y estamos recibiendo canasta con el hombre delante. Hay que estar mucho más agresivo. Si jugamos ok, ataca fuerte. Y si no hay tiro a la primera, sigue mano a mano y jugamos run y seguimos. En la segunda cada vez hemos sacado ventaja.
La defensa.
Vamos con uno flash. ¿De acuerdo? Venga, está Materán debajo del aro. Venga, agresivo, vamos, la defensa agresivo, Estamos hombre a hombre, agresivo y cambiando.
1, 2, 3.
Well, here was Romario Roque. 12 points this evening for Roque. That's his second three-point attempt out of 5. Well, second made out of 5 attempts, excuse me. But this team has cooked with a purpose. 11 three-pointers out of 19. Truly incredible. Well, play Fantasy League. Scan that QR code and register to play. Fantasy League. Scan it now. Get involved. 6-point lead currently hit at Colombia. Mijares trying to fake the screen. Mataran had a good look from the three-point line. Mijares still has it. Well, nice dump down. Finds Chudio, but he's unable to finish, but he is fouled in the process. I think that foul is going to be called against Brian Angola. Well, that's only going to be his first personal foul of the game. It's not too much concern there for Colombia. Where's that on Montaño? But another missed free throw for Venezuela. 7 out of 11 from the free throw line this evening. Second one good. Still a 5-point deficit. Julian now moving up to 8 points. Only Jose Mataran in double figures at the moment for Venezuela. Angola with those 4 rebounds and assists. Atencia, 11 threes. And it's getting a 12-1. So Venezuela's got to build a lead going into the fourth quarter. The only plus-minus difference is -10 for them coming into this matchup against Colombia. Little ghost action from Mataran. Little Euro step. Passes off and Centeno cuts it down to 3 points. This is more positive from Venezuela. Centeno, that's only his second field goal this evening. Roque has a defense. Teo's got a mismatch. They don't get it. Montaño's made 1 3 and making 12 three-pointers for Colombia. Montaño with his segunda. Incredible three-point shooting from the Colombians. Nice take by Cifuentes and a tough finish. Cifuentes now into double figures. 7 assists away from a potential double-double. What a game we've had tonight here in Cali, Colombia. Roque, 12 threes. Are you kidding me? And he has a few words for Jose Mataran. Romario Roque has indeed become the game's leading scorer. Well, do you smell what the Roque is cooking? He's cooking 3 puntos. Increíble. Well, if you're watching this game live, what entertainment. Now Roque's going to get a technical foul for the trash talk, but with his confidence, can you blame him? Pedro Chudi at the free throw line as he makes a technical free throw. Cutting it back down to 6. Now we're into 4 minutes. And Venezuela level things up going into the fourth and final quarter. Cifuentes. For an ISO mode. Penetrates. Well, that's going to be sending Cifuentes to the free throw line. That one's on Juan Teo. Juan Teo, 5 rebounds away from a double-double. Oh, 3 rebounds, excuse me. That's only his second personal foul. So Cifuentes can indeed cut this down to a 2-possession deficit with 3:40 left. As Yoni Tovar is going to come out of the game. And checking into the game for Colombia. Well, we played 1 minute 39 seconds. Soron de Luque. Cifuentes can't get the free throw. What a must-win game. These have got to count for Venezuela. 9 out of 14 from the free throw line this evening. Every point has got to count. Second one just rattles in. Joint leading scorer for Venezuela with 12 points. Cifuentes will go to the bench. As Carlos Fulda checks back into the lineup. Definitely want to see more three-pointers from Colombia. Angola pump fakes. Kicks out. Atentia wanted to find Montano in the corner. Roque tries to keep his dribble alive. He's been on fire so far tonight. He's not going to get this one. Colombia try to save it, and they do just that. Good hustle going out of bounds. Angola pulling for an ISO. Got it by Yoni Tovar. Passes out. Atentia goes to the bucket and finishes under intense pressure. What a take by Hansel Atentia. Well, the mighty mouse of Colombia. And that foul looks like it's going to be called. I think that's going to be called on Carlos Fulda. So chance to give Colombia their biggest lead of the game. What a game from Hansel Atentia. Now he is the game's leading scorer this evening. 17 points to Hansel Atentia. Under 3 minutes here in the third. Out of control, no foul called. Keeps this one alive. But this is good now as Tovar will go to the charity stripe here for Venezuela. It's a nice little penetration. I mean, just the reach there by Hansel Atentia. Oh, Edson Tovar currently 9 points this evening. What he can do now is try to cut it down to 6 points, but a lot of missed free throws at the moment in the last few trips to the charity stripe of Venezuela. And another one. Oh, Edson Tovar of Paulistano in Brazil. That's the infamous red and white of Brazilian basketball. Second free throw good. 7-point lead still to Colombia. Can Venezuela try to level things up? A little bit of full court pressure. So for Colombia, you don't need to rush anything now. Take your time on every offense. Angola. Good defense from Yoni Tovar. Makes Angola give it up. Montano's made 2 threes. Not going to get this one. Chudio prevents the offensive rebound. Still time for Venezuela to build something. Try to Euro step under pressure, but can't finish, and nobody going in for an offensive rebound. And that's going to be Venezuela's 3rd team foul. And they just continue to fire in. Angola now at his 4th three. I think Colombia's proven a point. They want to go to round 2. They want to join Chile and Brazil. And Venezuela responds. What an incredible game we're having at the moment. The 3-point shooting has been outstanding. 8 threes to Venezuela. And already 14 3-pointers converted from Colombia. What a showcase. Atentia Little fadeaway. And he's just not missing. 19 points for Hansel Atencio. Well, the defense has been good from both teams, but the offense has been simply better. As a foul is going to be committed. 2 free throws coming up for for Venezuela. So Venezuela, well, they've got to win by 10 points. Romario Roque really came into the limelight, I'd say, during the 2023 Basketball World Cup qualifiers when Colombia had some great games, some great comebacks. Probably the most exciting game for Colombia was against Brazil in Barranquilla, where they had to come back and Brian Angola tried to miss a three-pointer, or tried to miss a free throw to get a 3 to win the game. And then it was a tip in from an offensive rebound. Gotta love Colombian basketball. It's got its heritage, it's got its history, but they've only ever been to one FIBA Basketball World Cup, 1982. 44 years too long for the Colombians. This time the free throw made by Carlos Fulda. Can try to cut it down to 7, and a potential 3 for 2 if he makes this for Venezuela. Second one good. Rookie just trying to deal with the pressure. The Horns double high screen. Rookie penetrates. Pump fakes, goes in. Another offensive rebound. The putback is good by Soren de Luque. Second chance opportunity points. Always a good way for Colombia to keep the distance between them and Venezuela. Fulda penetrates. Has to put up a circus shot. Nobody going in for an offensive rebound. No foul given. And now Colombia can have their first double-digit lead of the game. 14 out of 25 from the three-point line. Roque crosses. Roque all the way, and he finishes this one. And it is El Mundo de Romario Roque. And we are just living in it at the moment. Incredible 17 points from Romario Roque. Venezuela pump fake. Churio's made 1 3. Not gonna make this one. And here comes Colombia. Bit of time. Venezuela get it back. A second left, gotta shoot it, and that is the end of the third quarter. Colombia's 14 three-pointers keep them ahead by 11. Even so, it's been a great game from Venezuela. 8 three-pointers knocked down, but the free throw shooting, which just hasn't been good enough tonight from Venezuela. Venezuela currently have missed 6 free throws. You make or miss free throws, well, you're right in there, but look at that. Colombia with as many three-point field goals as they do from within inside the rainbow. Well, we'll take a look at the highlights from the third quarter very, very soon. Outstanding play so far, and there is Jose Mataran. Well, Mataran and Romario Roque got into it with each other. The truth is, they're both teammates with each other in Brazil. They're actually good friends. But even amigos can sometimes become enemigos. This three-point shooting right now has just been simply spectacular. This is probably one of the best three-point shooting showcases we've seen from any country across the world here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Monteo, 11 points. Colombia currently with 4 players in double figures. Montaño. Good night from him this evening. 2 3-point field goals. Johannes Cifuentes, second leading scorer, along with Jose Mataran this evening for El Vino Tinto.
Quedan 10 minutos, chavales, vamos, quedan 10 minutos.
1, 2, 3.
No somos más, vamos.
Well, fans, scan the QR code to access and log into courtside 1891 Watch live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and much more. Courtside, 1891. Venezuela need a 21-point turnaround. They must win this game by 10 points. While Colombia, they can still lose this game and go to round 2. You want as many victories as possible. Welcome back, everybody. Final game here of Window 3. Here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers Group C fixture. We're live in Cali, Colombia, at Coliseo Evangelista Mora. Venezuela first possession, 9-3 of the game, beautifully tucked away. And it's that man again, Cifuentes. He now moves up to 15 points. 24 threes made tonight. 24 triples. It's the kind of basketball we pay a lot of money to watch courtside. Mataran picks up his third foul. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to pick up a fourth one. That's going to be another one. And that's going to be against Johannes Cifuentes. Well, he just tries to take the gamble there off the double team. Slightly dangerous, but not on no deliberation there whatsoever. Just trying to contest an interception, but Antelatencia looks like he's gonna be okay. It's only Cifuentes' first personal foul of the game. Rookie goes to his left off the screen. Find a bit of separation. Teo had a look at three. Twisting, turning, and Juan Teo. Well, age is just a number. Plus 40. Years young. Juan Teo winding back the clock on the years. 3 rebounds away from that double-double. Little bump, but doesn't get the ad one. It'll be another trip to the free throw line for Venezuela. Johannes Cifuentes, 15 points this evening. Well, that foul, I think, is going to be called on Michael Jackson. Yep. Because Colombia have 4 players who haven't scored this evening. Michael Jackson's one of them. Cifuentes makes the first free throw. That's the 14th made free throw this evening for Venezuela. 20th attempt. Oh, 7th missed free throw. Venezuela try to battle for the offensive boards. Colombia try to keep this one under control. It'd be a 2-point deficit had Venezuela converted all these missed free throws. Teo in the paint. Defended by Centeno. Goes for another tough fadeaway. Another big offensive rebound, and unfortunately cannot finish. As DeLuque picks up the foul, and probably should have put that one away. All this does is just breathe a little bit of life into Venezuela. Can they try to level things up before we reach the halfway mark? And I'd say both of them are fouls, to be honest. Mataran saying he fouled me first. The 3rd foul against DeLuque. What can Venezuela build on this offense? We've got to keep finding points. Mataran being chased by Juan Teo. There's the penetration. Not a lot of time here. Got to force up a tough circus shot three. It's just not going to go. And the rebound comfortably collected by Colombia. A bit of an unnecessary foul to give away there by... That's on Fulda. So that's a key stat Colombia's definitely turned around, because now they're leading the rebounds against Venezuela, something the Venezuelans, El Vino Tinto, had the advantage of in the first half. He's been running the show here at the moment with Atencia, and that's going to be another one. So Venezuela, no more fouls to give. And it's actually Jaime Echenique that gets fouled. Well, Carlos Fulda runs right into him like a tight end defender. Now, will the officials go to review this to see if an upgrade is needed? Because Echenique took quite a shot. Well, they're having that discussion right now as we speak. So I think it's going to be an official review to find out if any further action needs to take place. Well, that's the big question. Does this need to be upgraded? Well, it's been an outstanding game so far between these two teams. Goes into, there's no doubt about it, man, it's the right call, but does this need to be upgraded? Carlos Fulda, the guilty party, committing that foul. Now, a decision has been made. So we're going to find out very soon. Oh, yes, upgrade. So Echenique will get 2 free throws. Colombia is going to get possession back again. And that is the very last thing Venezuela wanted at this stage. But a big moment now for Colombia as they can build more daylight between them and Venezuela. Even if Venezuela win, well, they need a big margin to kind of run away with this. As Echenique makes the free throw. The man of the Basketball Champions League makes both free throws, extending it back to an 11-point lead for Colombia, and he now has 11 points. That's been the three-point shooting tonight for Colombia. It's set these two teams apart. Centeno. Echenique goes in. That's going to be his 5th foul. He's gone. Echenique is out of here. That's the same story. You think he's going to go for an and one. Five fouls against Jaime Echenique. His night indeed. Unfortunately for Colombia, it's over. Only 2 minutes played in the 4th quarter. Venezuela's got to find buckets, and they've got to find them quick. Churio goes back to Mijares. Time dwindling down. Mataran's made 3 threes. Not going to get this one. Well, actually, I have to correct myself. My apologies. Echenique hasn't fouled out. I thought he had 4 fouls prior, but he has 4 fouls now, it stands. Churio has a look at 3. Angola not going to give him any time or space to get the three-pointer off. Mijares now penetrates, little floater, and it just won't go. And Venezuela without a natural center. Somebody to really command the rebounds. It's always going to be tough at this stage. Here at the moment, just working with Jaime Echenique. Angola's got to go quick. A lot of contact. Nearly getting another 4-point play. There'll be another trip to the free throw line for Brian Angola. He almost got his 2nd and 1 three-pointer. I mean, look how close this is to going in. Cifuentes, unfortunately, just reaching, but that nearly was his 2nd and 1 three-pointer tonight. How does he do this? I think one of the most spectacular seasons for Brian Angola was playing for Cajamarca in the Basketball Champions League in 2022-23. Unfortunately, losing in the play-ins that time to UCAM Murcia. Just briefly played with Galatasaray. Started the season in Gran Canaria in the Spanish ACB before going to play in the French Pro LMB. 19 tonight for Brian Angola. Joint leading scorer with Hansel Atenthia. It's a good penetration. Trujillo coming up with a rebound. 14-point lead currently to Colombia. It's a nice penetration. The finish no good. And the tip-in just won't go. But will it be? A foul is going to be called on the ground. And that's going to be Colombia's final team foul to give away. Well, that was a great take by Mijares. Little pump fake. Got to make this one. It's a wide open look, but it just won't go for Jose Mataran. Colombia definitely in total control of this. Romario Roque. There's Yalup and buenas noches. El Tim Duncan, Colombiano. Jaime Echenique. Well, Roque threw the dime. Echenique just caught it at the summit. Timeout called by Venezuela. 16-point advantage. And it looks inevitable, considering that Venezuela would need to win by quite an amount of points to try and get into the second round with both Chile and Brazil. Time is not their ally at the moment. But you got to feel for this team because they've played some very good basketball so far here in this window, but is looking very bright though for Venezuelan basketball. If you put the amount of great players that they have coming through the ranks, you look at the bench points. I mean, very similar. Venezuela 30 points in the bench, but the thing that separates these two teams apart from each other, here it is. Romario Roque, little penetration, the dime, and the Colombian Tim Duncan, Mr. Basketball Champions League, Jaime Echenique. I'll say it again. Roque, introduce your teammate, El Señor BCL. Jaime Echenique flying high in the sky. And muchos gracias with the connection. Big time play by Mr. BCL. Venezuela's got to go quick. Mataran penetrates. Cifuentes hesitates. Trujillo's made 1 3. It's just not going, but the follow-up is good. Cifuentes with the second chance opportunity points as now he moves up to 16. 18 points, my correction. Still, it's a 14-point advantage to Colombia. And here he comes again. That's another foul committed, so Echenique will go back to the free throw line. 13 points this evening for Jaime Echenique. 5 out of 8 from the field. The foul is on Pedro Trujillo. Echenique actually hasn't missed a free throw this evening. Well, look at the post work there. The footwork is just so perfect from Jaime Echenique. It's quite an impressive NCAA career, and I think a lot of people put the expectations on him to try and get to the NBA, but take nothing away from this young man. He has had a hell of a professional career. Just played his NCAA basketball at Wichita State. Had that brief spell in the G League before going to Lithuania to play for Rytas Vilnius, Prometheus Patras, and Pepkinspor, and now Reggio Emilia. He's always been in the BCL. That's why we call him Mr. Basketball Champions League. And that's going to be a backcourt violation. What's unfortunate, Trujillo wasn't quite expecting the pass at that pace there, but Venezuela's got to defend. Omar trying to put some pressure against Teo. Now they don't have any fouls to give. Atencia, pump fakes. Kicks out. Roque's been on fire. Tovar comes up with it. Finds Chudio, and he'll finish this one in transition, cutting it down to 13 points. And that is what we saw from Venezuela in the first half. Roque, Euro step. Now goes baseline. Atencia, he's in 4 threes. And that's the 15th three-pointer tonight for Colombia. The Colombian cooking show from downtown. Chudio pump fakes. In the corner. Wide open look for Venezuela. Let's try again. And that's their 10th three-pointer. 25 three-pointers between these two teams. As Edson Tovar of Palestino in Brazil knocks it down. And he has 16 points. Because Venezuela took away half the three-pointers this evening. For Colombia, any performance, this would be a winning performance as Atencia tries to go for a 16th three-pointer. Time isn't on Venezuela's side. Medina goes in for the follow-up and it cuts it down to 11 with 3:57. I know it's been cold, but the clock is still running. The clock is still running. Not sure the officials have noticed, but Venezuela's losing some time, and they've stopped it now here at 3:43, but I think there was still a bit more time left. Well, it's just Operation Hang On now for the Colombians. So they have put on a three-point cooking case so far in this game, but crazier things have happened in international basketball. The likelihood of this lead being conceded to Venezuela, well, a miracle would need to happen. I'm sure this time on now, Colombia just calling to try and make sure they get the ball inbound. They don't make any costly turnovers. They must take care of the ball, but also anticipate a lot of pressure defense is going to come from Venezuela. So if anything, try to get a foul and get to the free throw line. Outstanding performance this evening from Colombia's backcourt. Romario Roque, 17 points. Brian Angola, 19, but 22 coming from Hansel Atencia, who's 5 out of 8 from the three-point line. 53% collectively from Colombia. 15 out of 28. That's impressive. Angola had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists at the end of the first half. He has 19 points now. He's only added 1 more rebound to his count, so I don't think he's too concerned about getting a triple-double. Here's that full court pressure that we talked about. It's going to be another foul, so Angola now will go to the free throw line. It's a case of trying to put on that full court pressure without giving fouls away, because as you can quite clearly see, it's a tough one, no doubt, but especially when you are in the, well, you put your opponent into the penalty, you don't want to send him to the free throw line. Angola missed another one. I don't think it'll be too much call for concern at the moment. I miss them both. Maybe not a bad foul after all. Venezuela want to go quick. Can they keep it under control? Can they build something? Little ISO. Tovar, he'll try a 3. It's a little too short, but it goes out of bounds, and Colombia will get this back. Well, tough one. They got to look from the perimeter. Nearly contested for an offensive rebound. Just cannot keep possession. Cervantes will come back in the lineup here for Venezuela. Colombia, no need or no mood to kind of rush things. They'll take their time. They'll be very patient, no doubt about it. Angola, defended by Churio, but now Venezuela switch. Has to get rid of it, finds Atencia, one extra pass, and one too many. And that will be a 24-second violation. Still, they'll be very happy with that. They shaved a lot of time off the clock. Still leading by 11. Venezuela want to allow the ball to just not take any time off the clock. The time isn't on their side. They've got to go quickly. Churio, quick three. Not going to get it. An offensive rebound picked up by Cifuentes. Gets a screen from Tovar. He'll fire a three. And Churio comes up with it. Nice take by Cifuentes. Gets denied by Angola. But a foul has been given. I don't think the foul is on Angola. But still, smart play by Angola, preventing a potential Lamb one. So that's a fourth foul against Romario Roque. Free throw shooting tonight from Venezuela. Definitely something that potentially is going to haunt this team. Facing the prospects of elimination. 8 missed free throws tonight from Venezuela. If you make all those missed free throws, you're only down by 2. And then you just need 12 points in the next 2:45, but they could commit another foul. So Roque now will go to the free throw line. But you got to credit Colombia. Colombia came out like a house on fire today. Both teams did. But Colombia's three-point shooting was just slightly better than Venezuela's. I say slightly. They made 6 more three-pointers. That's 3 consecutive missed free throws now for Colombia. But Colombia's free throw shooting hasn't been picture perfect either. They've missed 7 tonight. Still Venezuela, if you don't want it to be a consolation, anything you do offensively, you've got to go quickly. It looks like a timeout is going to be called. 18 points this evening for Romario Roque. He's playing against his teammate this evening, Jose Mataran, who hasn't actually scored since the first half. Always great to see legendary Jose Vargas, now the assistant coach of Venezuela, excuse me. Well, each coach does have a head coach's challenge. Colombia, this will be the final timeout for Venezuela. Colombia have 2 timeouts still left. Unless Venezuela poses any form of a threat on this next offense, or in the next one, I can't see Colombia using it. Colombia have been outstanding. Venezuela, credit to them, they've also been good, but it's just fair to say Colombia's been better. It's been a fun game to watch, especially in at the second quarter. They may want to think about advancing the ball to kind of take some time, to save some time probably, but we'll find out what Venezuela do elect to do on this offense. Great game so far tonight from the backcourt of Romario Roque and Hansel Atencia. This rebuild era of Venezuela. Looking unlikely that they're going to get to a 6th FIBA Basketball World Cup. They missed 2010 in Turkey. They also missed qualifying in 2014 in Spain. Fine Tovar goes in, throws it down with 2 hands. And it's back to single digits. Looks like Colombia may have a player down. It's Hansel Atencia, I believe. It took quite a hard screen there from Tovar, but wow. Body check. Tough game. They lead by 9, 2:30. No complaints from him so far. Still Venezuela putting on that full court pressure. Double team to get a pass here, but good work by Hansel Atenthia. Breaks it himself. Another foul committed, so Echenique back to the free throw line here for Colombia. So the foul is going to be called against Jose Mataran. Echenique, only one missed free throw. That was on his last trip to the charity stripe, but he's loving life playing in the Italian LBA. Now 5 out of 6 from the free throw line this evening. 15 points for Jaime Echenique. Can he put it back to an 11-point lead for Colombia? Well, it could be a lane violation if he misses, but he's going to have no problem making this one. Venezuela facing the prospect their final 2 minutes of FIBA Basketball World Cup. Cifuentes goes in, gets rejected. Echenique said, "Este es mi casa, baby." What post-interior defense. Oh, este es la casa de Jaime Echenique with a big-time block. That is solid paint protection. Remember, Venezuela, no more timeouts to give. There's that full court pressure. Monteo beats it. Oh, good anticipation. Tavas saves it. Well, he becomes the Venezuelan Dennis Rodman on that play. Can they convert down the other end? Mataran. In the end, finding Edson Tovar. Now penetrates, goes in, another block. Well, dos bloqueos from Jaime Echenique. And now here it is, finds Juan Tan. They'll finish, they'll convert it. And Colombia executing on both ends of the floor. Impressive Jaime Echenique with the block. Angola with the facilitation. And the end product from Juanteo. Juanteo currently 1 rebound from a double-double. Well, if that is on Jaime Echenique, now officially it will be his 5th personal foul. He'll be out of here. If it is on Echenique. There it is. Bloqueo time. Block party tonight in Colombia. Jaime Echenique is hosting it. And here it is. Well, I can see the transition bucket. Well, that is on Echenique. If that is Echenique's foul, that's his 5th. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, it's been a great performance from Johannes Cifuentes. 9 missed free throws. Incredible. And you can only feel bad for these outstanding Venezuelan players. Like I said, this is their rebuild era. No more Hazel Guigent, Windy Gratero, who actually did play him in the earlier windows. Team that won the 2015 FIBA America Cup and thus qualified for the Rio Olympics in 2016. I mean, that's probably the golden generation of Venezuelan basketball. But there's a lot to like about the future of this national team. Just over a minute left here in the first quarter, 1:19. And you can see what it means to Johannes Cifuentes. I mean, he's a primetime professional. But for sure, he'll be back. Venezuela will be back. Remember, 2031 FIBA Basketball World Cup will be in Paris. And we'll have the FIBA, next to FIBA America Cup after that. And oh my lord, Echenique trying to take a body with him. Roque penetrates. Roque in the lane, he gets fouled now. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, the foul is going to be called against Yoni Tovar. So more substitutions coming in at the moment now for these two teams. Centeno is going to come back in the lineup. Well, I think the progression of Romario Roque's career has been outstanding. Go back to the summer 2022 in preparation for the FIBA America Cup. That summer was in Recife, Brasilia. It's those windows, remember, we still had that time, the 2023 Basketball World Cup qualifiers, and that victory against Brazil, the comeback from his down by as many as 20 points. So they had to go into overtime after the missed free throw and three-pointer on the same play by Brian Angola. 20 points tonight for Roque, second leading scorer. The rebound connected and collected by Echenike. Angola, what a game he's had. Just another day at the office. He'll go to the free throw line. If he makes one of these free throws, he'll become the third player with 20 or 20-plus points now for Colombia. Romario Roque with 20. Hanso Atencia was 2022, and he's got 20 points. Can become the second leading scorer if he makes this one. I think the big talking point tonight, though, Colombia's three-point shooting. This is going to put a lot of teams on notice because this will be their third win heading into the second round. 8 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Angola finishing with 21 tonight. I don't know if sure if Venezuela want to go for a shot. I think they have kind of accepted the inevitable. They were 10 out of 24 from the three-point line. And you have to feel for this team, Venezuela. They went to 5 FIBA Basketball World Cups, but they will be eliminated from round 2. Colombia, they will join Chile and Brazil. Vamos, Colombia! They've been to 1 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and that was when they hosted in 1982, 44 years ago. And 44 years has been a long time. Can Colombia make it to Doha, Qatar 2027 for the next FIBA Basketball World Cup? 3 more windows, 1 round left. An outstanding performance, 15 out of 28 from the three-point line tonight for Colombia. You can only take your hats off to these Venezuelan heroes. These outstanding basketball players led by Johannes Cifuentes with 20. The second leading scorer this evening, Edson Tovar. It's a rebuild era for a magnificent basketball country in Venezuela. We'll have to wait to see them for the next FIBA America Cup qualifiers. But for Colombia, well, fiesta time. They'll have a little bit of a summer's break, but we will see them in August, at the end of August, alongside both Brazil and Chile for the second round. Just another day at the office for Brian Angola. An outstanding performance from him, as well as Romario Roque and Hanso Atencia. We'll take a look at some of the key stats from this game. 25 three-pointers made collectively between these two teams. An outstanding, both teams, 42 and 54%. Venezuela in the end did win the rebound count. Both teams with 17 assists. Colombia with 12 turnovers. And it was the three-point shooting that separated both of them. 6 more three-pointers. You can see the leading scorers. 3 players with 20 points and above for Colombia. Well, it's time now to look at the highlights from this big win. Venezuela led by as many as 11 points in the first half. That was a margin that would have seen them get to the second round. Then Colombia just decided to turn it up a level. And they went on to I would say, cloud 9 from the three-point line. Ponteo, the veteran, finishing 1 rebound shy of a double-double with 15 points this evening. So they pick up 4 personal fouls, just like Jaime Echenike, as well as Romario Roque. Here was the alley-oop finding El Tim Duncan Colombiano, Jaime Echenike. Pedro Churio 4 out of 10 this evening from the field. He finished with 11 points. One of 4 Venezuelan players in double figures. Well, that was the 15th three-pointer of the game for Colombia. The 5th for Hansel Atentia. That was a 10th three-pointer by Edson Tovar. Well, he missed it. Got his own rebound on the same play. He made the second one. Zangola off the block of Jaime Echenique, finding Juan Teo. Well, there you have it, all wrapped up here in Cali, Colombia. What a game. So Colombia will finish in second place with 3 victories. And that third win could be a big factor that maybe helps this team in windows 4, 5, and 6. Remember what I said, victories you attain in the first window play into effect when it comes to rounds, well, windows 4, 5, and 6. Well, fans, unfortunately, it's that time of the evening where we do thank you for joining us live here for the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers. For now, it's goodbye, good night, and God bless. We'll see you for the 4th round at the end of August.